everyone, welcome to another video. Here are 5 indie games to try if you want something short, light, and silly, especially in between more serious gameplays. Good job is the silly answer to your workplace rage fantasies. If you've ever daydreamed at work and sometimes found yourself asking, what would happen if I just did this? Then Good Job is the game for you. The game starts off with the most disarmingly charming intro of a loving father-son relationship and sets the stage for you, the main character, as a naive if inept beneficiary of nepotism. You start working at your father's company and move up in your career by getting promoted to the next level until you get to daddy's office in the penthouse suite. There are no instructions other than the main task you're given for each room, and from there you are basically given free rein to get them done in any way possible. Need to set up the projector but can't get it through the door? Slingshot it through the wall. Need to water the office plants? Just flood the entire floor and call it a day. Literally anything works as long as you get the job done, and all this you can do without your coworkers batting an eye. You get graded per room based on how fast you completed the task, the amount of damages you incurred, and valuables destroyed. You can play slow and steady with minimal damage, or fast and loose as you smash through the office. The game ecosystem rewards both playstyles, and there's a lot of variety to be had experimenting with the different ways to solve the tasks. The art style is minimalist, clean, and adorable. The characters are road sign icons come to life, which fits the theme of workplace hazards. The game mechanics and sound design are also very well done. Everything is thought out, from the ridiculous physics of trashing your way around, the themes of each department, and the menu layout of floor levels literally representing your journey up the corporate ladder, or in this case, elevator. Every detail of this game is intentional and adds to a happy gaming experience, like the Jazz Cafe elevator background music, which is cheerful and whimsical and keeps you in a happy mood as you play. There's a lot of replay value here, and you can double the fun by playing with friends, family, or a significant other. You're also able to collect hilarious clothes and headgear, which doesn't really do anything other than add another layer of silliness as you go about your business of accomplishing menial tasks and destroying the office in the process. I frequently reach for this game, especially when I'm trying to decompress from a grueling day of work. It's a wacky time and just easygoing, cathartic fun. Oh, and did I mention they have switches in the game? I mean, what more can I say? On the same theme as workplace dynamics, but with a 180 spin, we have Going Under. Going Under is a satirical roguelite dungeon crawler of the underworld of failed tech startups. You start as a bright-eyed unpaid intern on their first day at Fizzle, a startup company drinking its own Kool-Aid. Your dreams are immediately dashed, however, when a monster appears in the lobby and your shady-ish manager coerces you into killing it. Next thing you know, you're not a marketing intern, you're a monster-killing intern, and you have to slide down to the basements of 3 tech companies that have literally gone under: a gig economy recruitment firm, a dating app, and a cryptocurrency mining company. You work your way through the rooms, picking up any office object like a keyboard or stapler to use as weapons to hack and slash your way through the employee-turned-mutated foot soldiers of startups' past. Your goal is to reach the 4th sub-basement and defeat the CEO, bringing a literal parody of boss fights. See what they did there? Weapons do break here, so the game keeps you moving and thinking on your feet. Occasionally, a new skill becomes available to help you during the run, or a package gets dropped off after you clear a room, and you get some respite when you also stumble into a shop to buy things like an avocado toast to boost your health. The dialogue is tongue-in-cheek about Silicon Valley capitalist types and stereotypical millennials, funny if a bit predictable and dated. The colorful cartoon art style jumps off the screen and is perfect for the over-the-top battle mechanics. The background music is okay and complements the overall aesthetic of the game, though I'm personally not a fan of the garbled robotic dialogue noises. Going Under keeps you hooked. The story and progression of the game unfolds even if you don't get to the boss fights. You interact with the staff and unlock them as mentors when you complete tasks for them. Each time you level up a mentor, you're granted perks to use next time you go under, like the company credit card to buy things you can't afford at the cafe, or a good old Fizzle drink for added boosts. As a casual gamer who has never played a dungeon crawler before, this is quite challenging. But I'm also a masochist, and I ended up going back again and again and again. Seriously, I've had 11 attempted runs and 0 wins on the first dungeon so far, and I'm still trying. That said, I did play in separate modes, standard and assist, with me handing my controller over to my boyfriend more frequently on standard mode. And yes, I play on assist, I like to enjoy games, and I have no shame. If you're like me and you're a bit intimidated by dungeon crawlers, or you're in the mood to just beat up some monsters, Going Under is a good game to get you started. Untitled Goose Game is beloved for a reason. You play as a silly goose tasked to torment unsuspecting humans in a small town, and it is a hoot. The game starts with a very straightforward and short tutorial, but otherwise lets you run loose and start playing. You are given a to-do list each time you encounter humans, and part of the fun is just figuring out how exactly to accomplish your mischievous agenda. Game mechanics are very simple. You can wobble around, crouch, flap your wings, honk, and much to the chagrin of the townsfolk, pick things up with your beak. Personally, I feel the controls are a bit clumsy at first, and I guess geese aren't really well known for being fast runners. Just trying not to get caught red-handed and running away is half the battle. I really like the minimalist art style and playful piano background music. It is simple and effective for how goofy the game is. Some tasks are certainly easier than others, and many of them do require a lot of trial and error. For example, I personally hated when I had to deal with a storekeeper who kept trying to hit me with a broom and put things I so painstakingly collected in my shopping cart back to their rightful place. This will basically remove the strike through on the list and you have to do it all over again. That said, it is so satisfying to see the fruits of your labor and watch things get crossed off your list, often via funny interactions among the townspeople. I do recommend playing with 2 players to double the trouble and fun. Having another partner in crime makes it easier to distract the humans and accomplish the tasks. It's really fun to brainstorm and coordinate on the to-do list, and once you get into the groove of figuring out how to divide and conquer, good old-fashioned teamwork really takes this game of mischief to the next level. Untitled Goose Game is a relatively innocent game about messing with people. The game is one big prank meme balled in one, and you being a silly goose is the adorable means by which you can get away with it. Pikuniku is a delightfully cute platformer puzzle game with a surprisingly deep undertone. The game starts with you, Piku, an adorable little red bean-shaped creature with legs and only legs, making your way out of the cave you inhabit. You soon encounter equally cute villagers who cower at the sight of you. Turns out you are the storied beast that they've been careful not to disturb and awaken. You prove that you are a harmless, well-intentioned monster, and you start winning the villagers' trust by lending them a helping hand in solving their problems. You then discover, however, that something is not quite right in this playful little world. From hopping on clouds to swinging from hooks, to kicking explosive acorns and beating robots at dance battles, Pikuniku keeps you upbeat and entertained in whatever playful adventure comes next. There's a lot to explore in this game sidewards, upwards, and under, with the physics of your long kicking legs embedded into the game mechanics of Pikuniku's primary colored 2D world. I genuinely love the puzzles, which are stimulating, satisfying, and clever in their simplicity. While some games are so difficult that I sometimes feel that I need to be mentally prepared for them, I don't dread anything with Pikuniku. This game is not necessarily a challenge, and it doesn't try to be. Instead, it opts for heart and levity in dealing with difficult subjects. The dialogue, story, and themes have deeper ramifications. The villagers, who once enjoyed a regular rainfall of money, now despair at the loss of their source of food, the destruction of the forests, and their depleting water resources. It speaks to the consequences of our greed and the destruction of the earth we inhabit and share. I don't want to spoil the rest of the story because it truly is a joy to progress through the game and experience it for yourself. In a way, it reminds me of a children's book come to life. As with The Little Prince and Avatar: The Last Airbender, adults can find a lot of meaning in children's stories, and Pikuniku is no exception. I had the hardest time editing and choosing the footage to use for this game review because everything was just so freaking cute and amusing. My only complaint is that I wish the adventure mode were longer. It is worth noting though that you can play up to 9 players on co-op mode, which are basically just additional platforming puzzle games. Pikuniku is the most whimsical, adorable, and heartwarming little game for all ages and absolutely worth playing. It's probably my favorite on this list. In stark contrast to all the colorful games on this list, West of Loathing is an entirely black and white, hand-drawn comedy RPG adventure that doesn't take itself too seriously. Like, at all. To start your westward adventure, you have to choose between being a cowpuncher, a beanslinger, or snake oiler, immediately foreshadowing all the tomfoolery in the game to come. Everything about the West of Loathing is chock full of silly goofs, like the ability to walk stupid, fight demonic cows, and stumble on morbidly funny tombstones. West of Loathing's genius comes from the comedic narrative writing and dialogue. I found myself chuckling so much throughout my gameplay. There's a fourth wall that's frequently broken in the game where it actively engages and judges you based on your choices. For example, when I happened upon a sleeping gangster, I was given a set of choices. I chose the most ruthless one, of course, just to see what happens, and the game actively tried to convince me to rethink my decision. Because of this game mechanic, there's a lot of replayability here because of the many permutations that can happen based on your choices. Most of the events in West of Loathing unfold via text, so there's a lot of reading for a game, but it's actually really fun and worth the effort. This game actually thrives off of NPCs and side quests, which are just hilarious non sequiturs that I can only imagine the game creators had a ton of fun writing and illustrating. Because of this, your journey to go west unfolds more like squiggles all over the map. The game is kind of open world, and by this I mean that although the map itself is fairly 2D and limited in span width, there is depth to the settings, and you can actually go move up, down, and sideways and interact with everything in a given space. Your character has reactions to everything like stepping over poop and running into a cactus, and you encounter unique obstacles in between points in the map. West of Loathing is as unique as its stick figure art style. The simplicity helps the game run incredibly smoothly and sets the tone for your wacky adventures. I know the art style may not be for everyone. I was also hesitant at first, but having played the game, I do believe it serves a very intentional purpose. Over time, I personally found it refreshing to the eyes, especially after playing other overly saturated action games. There are so many amusing gems in West of Loathing, from the dialogue to the animation. The classical Western cowboy background music and sound design, like the rolling tumbleweeds and ironic pew-pew gunshots, adds to the charm of the game. The turn-based combat system is what it is, funny but can be a slug to get through. As with most RPGs, battles equals experience points, and gaining these points will be crucial to leveling up and unlocking certain elements of the game. But, unlike other RPGs where you need to suit up and upgrade your weapons like it's your last day on Earth, this game is bare knuckles and doesn't really care, instead focusing on the story and the funny people you meet along the way. This game insists that you just roll with the punches and giddy on up to the next adventure. West of Loathing is a satire of Western cowboy adventures done in the wittiest way, and if you're feeling adventurous and want to try something different, this game might surprise you. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Comment below if you've played any of the games mentioned here or are thinking of getting them. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more game reviews like this. It really helps me a lot as I build my video library. Thank you so much for watching, and take care, and bye!